Now, the lawsuits that we mentioned filed by these attorneys general argue that citizenship for people born in the U.S. is automatic, protected under the 14th Amendment. And the president alone cannot change that. Roughly 24 states have now filed suit. You can see coast to coast here, including Connecticut. And joining us is that state's Attorney General, William Tong. Thank you so much for taking the time. You called this new order a, quote, war on American families waged by a president with zero respect for our Constitution. Even if the law is on your side, the Constitution is on your side, what do you see as the consequences of the president, in your words, waging this war?
So he's attacking American families and who we are as a people. So many of us are rooted in this country, tied to this country by right of our birth. Like me, my parents were not citizens when I was born, and I was born an American citizen, the first in my immediate family, because I was born on American soil in Hartford Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut. So many millions of Americans, not just a few of us, millions of Americans reflect this beauty of our country, which Ronald Reagan said was one of the greatest strengths of America, birthright citizenship. And this attack on the 14th Amendment, which isn't a statute, it's not a regulation, it's not a law that Congress wrote. It is in the Constitution, and the president cannot, by the stroke of a pen, amend the Constitution or cancel one of its provisions. The only way to change the Constitution is by constitutional amendment and ratification of the states, and he can't do it by himself.
You mentioned your own personal story. How are you feeling personally in this moment?
I feel very tied to the 7,400 babies that are going to be born in Connecticut this year, whose citizenship is now at risk. I worry about what happens to them if they have no status. I mean, there's nothing in this order that tells us what happens to these babies. If they're not Americans at birth, who do they belong to? Are they stateless? And then what about their parents, even if they have a complicated immigration story, right? What will they do about health care for their kids? Will they be worried to go to the hospital? Will they be worried to call the police, to call 911 if something happens in their home? What will they do about their education? What about housing? What about their parents' jobs? Will they sign a lease? Will they continue in their job? Will they continue to run a small business that they've been building, like my parents? There's no way we're doing this interview, Anna, if I didn't have citizenship at my birth. It's because of that fact that my parents knew they could put everything into me and my sisters. And that's why I had the opportunities that I've had and the chance ultimately get a job, become a lawyer, run for office, be attorney general.
How long do you think this legal fight could play out?
We hope it's quick, because the havoc and the chaos that this president is bringing to immigrant families is happening right now, even before it takes effect in 30 days. What we're most concerned about is people are making decisions now. Babies are going to be born now. They're being born now. They're going to be born in 31 days. And people have to make decisions about their lives and how they're going to respond.
Now, something like 12,000 babies who get that birthright citizenship are born every month, according to the lawsuits and what you've written. Now, we've learned a new memo from the acting deputy attorney general ordering the Department of Justice to help Homeland Security locate people in the U.S. illegally and even, listen to this, even investigate for potential prosecution state and local officials who resist deportations or impede federal authorities. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, my reaction is this is more bluster and intimidation and trying to force us and compel us to do their will. And Connecticut has never quit on people. We're never going to surrender, and I am never going to back down. So they can say whatever they want. Here's the bottom line. The 14th Amendment protects birthright citizenship, period, full stop, by its very terms. If Justice Gorsuch were sitting here right now, I would say to him, read the language, sir. It's very clear in black and white. If you're an originalist, if you're a textualist, it's beyond clear. And the fact is that immigration is the federal government's responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the states. We delegated that authority to the federal government, and they have no right to come into our states and tell state officials like me and state and local police what to do. Do your job.
Connecticut Attorney General William Tong, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Anna.